So I created the group and added about 10 of my friends. They added their friends that added their friends. And it's just blown up to this big thing now. So
That is crazy. Okay. Like, how'd you get it to grow over the past however many years it's been around?
mhm.
And how do you make it known to them that you're in real estate?
So for growing the group, I have hard and fast
You're
rules.
listening to
And
Real Estate Coffee Talk. I'm your host, Sarah Hilton, and this is your weekly live coffee date with the who's who from every corner of the real estate industry.
All right. Welcome to Real Estate Coffee Talk, Laura.
Hi.
Cheers. Are you
Oh,
drinking
I should have brought my
coffee?
coffee.
I know. Cheers.
Cheers.
Did you already have one this morning?
I did. I went to Starbucks this morning.
Oh.
I'm trying to cut it out. I'm trying to do like once a week. And I was like, I
Ugh.
need it today. It was a long night. I'm like, I'm just going to
Right. Sometimes it's just like the little things we look forward to as moms. So
Yes.
I'm with you. If I could drink milk now without my voice getting any worse than it is, but I am a coffee junkie, and my husband's always like, he knows if I'm really sick or kind of sick by if I'm making coffee or not. I haven't had coffee in like 3 days. That's how bad. And I usually have 2 or 3 cups a day. So it's been rough. Theraflu is life right now. But anyway, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited to chat about this because this excites me so much. So tell us a little bit more. Oh, this is Laura Griffin.
Hi.
Tell us a little bit more about you, kind of what you do, a little bit about your background.
Yeah. So I'm a real estate agent in the DMV. So we're just right outside of Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia. I've been a real estate agent almost 11 years now. And then prior to that, I was in real estate in other capacities. And now I do real estate coaching. So I still do production, but not as much. And then now I teach other real estate agents how to use a Facebook group to get leads for their business as a main lead pillar generator for their business.
Okay. So this is what I'm so excited to talk about. So what made you kind of decide, I assume like when you were first getting into real estate or picking up in real estate when Facebook groups came on the scene, what made you decide to start that? And did you intentionally do it as a lead gen machine or you just started it for fun?
I started it for fun. I'm a mom. It's a mom's group. I had Madison and then Braden had just been born. I was like, I need some more friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I have, yeah, right. And and who else is up but besides another mom at like 11 p.m. when your kid's not sleeping or you're feeding the one, whatever. And so I created the group and added about 10 of my friends. They added their friends that added their friends. And it's just blown up to this big thing now. So
that is crazy. Okay. So how far into the process did you realize it could turn into a kind of like a lead gen machine for you or source?
It was about 2 years in. We were doing our brokerage does, like an end of the year planning for next year. And like, they had us do this worksheet. I was like, where did all your deals come from? And I was doing it all. And I was like, wow, everything but like one that was a referral from a past client came from this mom's group. And I was like, huh. And I really enjoyed that relationship. I had been doing online leads prior to that, and I hated it. I do not like cold calling people. It's not my nature.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm just not good at it.
No.
So I decided that, hey, this might work, and I needed to kind of lean into it.
Right. Okay. So this mom group, was it all online? Did you guys meet in person? Like how were you, before you even start to be strategic about it, how were you converting these people? How were they coming to you?
We were all online. We did like one mom's movie night. And I think we did like once in a while, like one time, I think during that year we had done like a mom's night out at a new restaurant that had opened, but it was all online and it was all organic. I did invite some to my Santa party because I have a cookies with Santa party every year for my past clients. And I didn't have enough clients to fill it through. I was like, I'll invite some of these. So other than maybe those 3 times offline, it was all online and all organic conversations.
Don't you love how we set up these groups? This is such a mom life thing. We set up a group to make friends, but then you never have any time to like actually go outside, go outside and meet them. But, I've been in a Facebook group. My oldest is about to graduate from high school. I've been well, it wasn't even a Facebook group back then. It was a web-based babycenter.com like message board back in 2005. Oh my God. And then, but it's crazy. That group, these mom groups are strong. That group transitioned off of there into like some other platform and then to Facebook. And there's still like maybe 75 or 80 active moms in there that now we're like sharing these graduation pictures and talking about what their after high school plans are. It is nuts. And I've maybe met one or two of them in person because when I used to live in New York City, you know, a couple of them live there and that's it. It's crazy how strong the relationships can be in these groups.
Like it runs deep and they trust you. Like moms trust other moms in business. Yeah.
Right. And it becomes easy for them because you understand maybe what they're looking for in a house and a community and all that. So here's my biggest question, and then we'll get into everything else.
Okay.
Because this is always, I always talk to other agents about this and they feel skeevy about it, right? Do you let other agents in your group?
No.
Good.
Flat out. It's just like I host an open house. Am I going to let another agent sit there and collect buyer information? No. So why are you letting them in? I've even cut out all the lenders now because I was having an issue with lenders.
And I look at it as like, this is my house, you know, and I tell people like, I had a girl who I love. She had a community group. It wasn't moms, but it was like about community. She felt bad, like kicking agents out. And she found out that they were going through DMs and stuff to get deals. And I'm like, listen, you built this. You don't have to feel bad about this. Is yours. They can go and start you can have 10 Facebook groups with the same name. You know what I mean?
You can.
They can do it. It's fine. Okay, good. So that was my biggest thing. All right. So what type of content, I guess, we're using to grow the group? Like how'd you get it to grow over the past however many years it's been around? And how do you make it known to them that you're in real estate?
So for growing the group, I have hard and fast rules. And I think that's what really helped me. There are some other groups in my area that are slightly bigger by maybe a few thousand people, but there's drama. And I don't play, like we don't do that. Like, I will delete it. I will knock it. Yeah. And just, I don't take it. And when I added my friends, they kind of just added their friends and then it just snowballed. And once you get to about, and that was, so it was easy for me. I had some past clients and I didn't really have to do too much to get the word out. It was just something that was needed. And then once you hit about 500, like Facebook starts to ramp you up and like starts referring other people to your group that might have an interest in it. I've run some contests, like, you know, $25, $50 to target, add your best friends, you know, and people will do it. And then you get other data from them, which is nice. On a Google form. So, and it costs like $50 to do that.
Oh, I know. And what mom doesn't love a Target gift card? That's like a vacation. So how do you make it clear in there? I guess, like, I guess what I'm wondering is, are you more passive about what you do, or do you every so often say, don't forget, I'm a real estate agent here and there? Like, how do people know to contact you or to work with you?
Yeah. So my banner is branded for the group and it's got a picture of me and my kids. And at the bottom, my real estate page is an admin for my group.
Okay.
The description has my real estate stuff and it's got a lead magnet. And I just weave real estate into my content. So I have a content plan, just like you do for social media. If you've got a content plan for Instagram or Facebook, you need a content plan for your group. And a lot of it's weaving in stories. I'm getting better at it. It's something that I've learned over the last few years. Jasmine Star, if you don't know how to weave stories into sales, she does a really good job at it. Of just, you know, I was meeting a buyer to do a buyer's consult today. I just went to this new coffee shop, you know, look at this. Like sometimes, you know, they do the design in the latte. Like I make my own lattes here and they never look like that. You know, I'm weaving in, here's a new coffee shop. Have you been? I'm a real estate agent. It's not going out and saying, I just listed this house. Isn't this great? You know, they don't care. But I will say I have one listing, two of the listings that I had in January, came from my mom's group and one's coming on the market this week. And I did weave in, we're selling Lindsay's house today or this week. It's going on the market. If you need this in this area, send your friends, kind of weaving the story of it's the moms group listing.
Oh,
So I
I
do
love
weave
that.
it in that way, but I'm not standing up every day saying I'm a real estate agent. You got to use me. I'm the
Right.
best.
Know anyone who wants to buy, sell, or invest? I'm like, oh my gosh.
Nobody cares. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I
It's
see
true.
these. We have a pretty big moms group in my town, and it's crazy. This admin, she used to be a lot more involved, and I think she just got busy, so it's turned into a cesspool. But I'm like, some agent should buy that. Like if
Oh, you can,
yeah, because I'm like this every day, and we're like right outside of Charlotte. It's like Lake Norman, so it's like 20 minutes north of Charlotte, but it's its own little thing. And I'm like, man, some agents should buy this group because like 3 or 4 times a week, people are coming in there like thinking of moving down, wonder what it is. And then what happens is you see 150 agents, come in, or maybe someone will live here. I saw recently just a mom and been like, we really want a community that has like resort style amenities. Like, where can we get this here, here, and here? And instead of people just helping her as a mom, they jumped in like, I'm glad to set you up on a MLS list, and everyone's jumping in. I'm like,
No,
but
you should have a lead magnet for that and say, I put together a list of the top 5 neighborhoods in my area that have the resort style pools. Would you like a copy of it? And then you send it, and it's less threatening, and you're coming from a place of giving versus I'm the best real estate agent. Use me.
Less friction. Yeah. And half of them, they don't even answer the question. I've done videos about this, like, just answer the person's question. And then at the end, you could be like, hey, if you want to work together, whatever. But they're just like, I'm a realtor in the area. I would love to help you. And I'm like, just I'm like, I was just thinking about the other day. I'm going off on a tangent, but I was just thinking about the other day. Someone needs to offer this girl money to buy her group, a realtor or a lender. Yeah. But I can just imagine like the firestorm, because they're going to have to come in and kick like 100 something realtors out.
It's okay. But you can do that. I worked with some clients that have bought in groups, and they have like a lawyer drop a real contract. And there's ways of doing it. And it's lucrative for them. I'm like, why recreate the wheel if it's already there? And sometimes some of the admins, I'll say, sometimes I'm burnt out. And if someone offered me money, I'd be like, maybe.
Absolutely. This admin has said like she's burned down, because people will be like, where is the admin lately? Because there's been a lot of, kind of crazy stuff coming in. Like, I don't have any food today. Can people, and they're like a lot of scammers. Yeah. But I'm like, girl, you need to sell your group. But okay, that's a whole nother thing. All right. So I guess what's the number one thing you wish agents knew about starting a group, growing that group, and using it for their lead gen?
Setting it up properly from the get-go, and being, having your rules in place, having all the descriptions in place, and having a plan. Like, sometimes I'm just going to start a group and I'm going to grow it. And they'll come to me and it's like, yeah, okay, anyone can start a group and grow it, but what are you doing with it? What's your plan? What's your content? How are you getting leads? How are you responding if someone asks a question? Having some like collateral assets available to like send to people, like a relocation guide or the top 5 parks or whatever in your area. And they're like, well, that sounds like a lot of work. Like, it is, but you've got to lay the groundwork, and you've got to have these things. Otherwise, you're just letting leads come and go, and you're not nurturing them.
Right. And that gets back to what I say in almost every one of these calls. Like, I find real estate agents can be short-sighted with a lot of stuff, like on the marketing side, right? Because I've talked about growing groups to people, and I haven't grown one for real estate lead gen, but I've grown one for real estate agents. And I'm always telling them, like, the first, month or 2 is going to be dicey. You're going to feel like an idiot, maybe, and depending what you're growing up for. And you may be talking to yourself, or people may not be responding at first, right? But then all of a sudden, it's just like you said, once you get to a certain number of people, Facebook starts recommending it. And then if you're consistent, it just starts growing. But a lot of people don't have like the wherewithal to kind of get past that really awkward, uncomfortable, not seeing results stage of any kind of marketing. Facebook groups, Instagram video. I'm like, just pick. Like, I do a lot of classes all around the area about marketing, and it's so funny. People are like, should I do Facebook or this? Should I do TikTok or this? I'm like, pick one.
Yes, and lean in.
and lean in. Yes. Go
and
deep.
master it. Master is the yes.
Right.
Oh, 100%.
Just push through. I'm like, there's going to be plenty of awkward moments. You know how many times I got in my Facebook group now and I was literally doing like a live training and it was like 0 people are watching.
Oh, that's and even with new Facebook groups, you've got to have a little bit of thick skin and know you're talking to yourself and it's okay. But it's also teaching Facebook that the group is active. It's just like, if, regularly scheduled programming, this show's on every Thursday at 7 p.m. Facebook's going to start pushing that content every Thursday at 7 p.m. to the members of the group. But if you're all over the place, it's not going to start pushing that into the algorithm, into people's feeds.
Exactly. It's not going to work. Okay. So tell us, since you've been successful at this and you've gotten plenty of deals from it, what does your coaching business look like? Like, what are you helping agents with on that side?
So I found there's 2 different lanes. I started a group, but now I don't know what I'm doing. I need leads. So I do one-on-one coaching with them of like, let's rip this thing apart and put it back together.
Right.
And then if you're not, so that's one-on-one coaching, but if you haven't started a group where you're like, I don't know where I'm starting from, but I want like templates and I want to know how you're getting leads and your guides and all the stuff that you use to extract leads from your group, then I have a course. So there's 2 ways of doing it. Cause it just depends on what phase of life that you're in for your wanting to start a group.
And what would you say? I guess what I can hear people saying now is, well, a mom's group is easy because moms, but what would you say to people who are like outside? Like, have you seen your clients have successful groups outside of that mom group? What other, I guess, themes have they had that they're able to generate leads from?
Yeah. So parents groups, if you want to invite the dads, that's fine. A relocation group. I will say my mom's group, the biggest thing is a lot of relocation. So you really need to lean into that and have collateral around that.
Right.
And then community groups like living in or what's going on in this particular city. Those tend to be the best. If you niche down too much, like I had one client come to me, we had to change it. It was a running group in a certain city. You're really narrowing it down. You need to open it up so you can get more people into the group. And then I don't recommend neighborhood groups because most neighborhoods are few, like, I don't know how many are in your neighborhood, but mine has 2,000 people. That's still not enough.
Yeah. And neighborhood groups quickly also become cesspool. And then it's awkward too, because if you have a neighborhood group and there's a real estate agent that happens to live in there, and then it just gets too,
you have to let them in, and that's hard. So I don't recommend it. If you have one, keep it and start fresh with something else.
Those neighborhood groups get sticky. I put mine on snooze because people were just flipping out about who got voted to the board. And now it's like, just, the drama. I can't even. Gosh. Okay. So aside from groups and all that, tell us about hydrangeas.
Oh, that's right. You guys asked me about. So we moved to a house a little bit farther out of town, and we've got like 2/3 of an acre or something.
Yeah.
And I love hydrangeas. It was our wedding flower. It's my thing. And so I am a little bit of a hydrangea hoarder. I have 8 hydrangea trees, and then bush trees or whatever they want to call them, paniculitis. And then I've got like, I don't even know, 1 million bushes. And so our yard in like June, July, it looks amazing. Now it looks like trash, but it's the worst time of the year. But so I am the hoarder, and then I'm always cutting them off and giving them to so all my neighbors like love coming over and just cutting off.
Just cutting them off. Oh, so pretty. I have trouble keeping plants alive. I'm good maybe with like a cactus but it's terrible. My neighbor next door, they probably hate us because they have like this big, beautiful garden, and my grass, my grass is green, but that's all we have. And I'm like, one day I want to get all these nice, pretty flowers, but I'm like, I feel like you need a lot of time to take care of that.
I can't keep houseplants alive, but the yard is alive because I have a sprinkler system. Oh yeah. If I didn't have that, it would be withering. And I've learned I had to become really good at which direction is our house. Where is there sun during the day?
Yes.
Because I put the wrong things, and I'm like, why did it die? And my landscaper's like, because you put it in the sun, and it like
it's about 18 hours of sun.
It's roasting.
I was so excited. One time we got a palm tree because I love palm trees, but I live in the wrong state. And we put it I think we put my front yard because my HOA said something about it. But it was doing so well. It was so pretty. It made it's so stupid, but it's probably like your hydrangeas. It made me so happy every day. I pulled up to my house and then they made us take it out.
Of course they did. You see, I love palm. I'm from California. I love palm trees.
Oh.
But do they grow in North Carolina?
No.
Oh.
Maybe it was South Carolina. I mean, it lived, but who knows how long it would have lived if the HOA didn't take us out. I'm curious because I've been in certain neighborhoods around here where people do have them, but I mean, it does get fairly cold. We're not that far south of you, but it's weird. As soon as you cross the South Carolina border, it's like everyone has palm trees everywhere, and I live 30 minutes from the border, so I'm like, they could survive there. They could survive here.
Yeah,
but
it's a little swampier down there, or a little stickier,
a little palmier.
Yeah.
They just make my husband's from California too, and I'm like, oh, they just make me so happy. Palm trees.
Oh, I love it. I went to a real estate convention in Arizona in December, and I got off the plane. There was palm trees in Phoenix, and then there was the In-N-Out. I'm like, I'm back.
Oh gosh, what part of California are you from?
Northern. But my family lives in Southern, but most of mine is in Northern.
Yes. Okay. Well, I went for the first time. Well, I guess I went when I was a kid, but I went for the first time last summer. We went to LA because my husband grew up outside of LA. And we did do In-N-Out, but I got to experience Randy's Donuts. Listen, I literally went on Goldbelly because I was so craving it that I was going to go order one later on and paid $32 for a donut. It was this high, and it was a cinnamon sugar donut. And it was just you just pull it apart. It was like air inside. And you just pulled it. This is the best donut I've ever had in my life. And I'm like, we're supposed to go to San Diego this fall. And I'm like, we are making a pit stop at Randy's.
She's bringing a cooler back. TSA's going to be like, ma'am, what is this?
It's going to have its own suitcase. I'm just going to.
Just make sure. I learned this when we flew to Florida or to Disney World this Christmas was don't bring anything spreadable. I happened to throw a thing of Nutella in my bag because we were going to make them waffles in the room. We put a waffle maker in a box of protein waffles. And they made me throw away my Nutella because TSA will not let you have spreadable things.
Spreadable things?
I was like, I didn't know. It's not liquid.
Known. That's so funny. We're in Disney all the time, but luckily we drive most times because from here it's only 7 hours. But who would have thought? Good note. Spreadable items. All right, no spreadable.
No peanut butter, no jelly, no nothing.
It's so the way that they make the rules is so all over the place.
Yeah.
I was laughing when we went out. This is so off the Facebook group. But when we flew out to one of these things, my husband was so nervous, and he should have known this, but he got those little mini alcohol bottles.
Yeah.
Out here, and he had took one on in his jacket with him because he knows he gets nervous. And then he was on the plane waiting for takeoff, and he's just this, and the flight attendant was like, "Sir, you are violating FAA guidelines." He was like, they let me through TSA with it. I didn't know. And it was already down the hatch. I'm like, we're going to get ourselves kicked off the plane. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. One more thing about Facebook groups before when it comes to, I want you to shed light because I think this is where a lot of people go wrong. And I'm going to edit this and put this back where it needs to go in the regular conversation. But when people are naming their groups,
yes.
Explain why that is so important and kind of how less is more.
Yes. So you don't want a big long name because they'll cut it off, but you want your location. So your city, your town. I have my county just because it works out here, but you need it in the name because Facebook is a search engine, much like Google or YouTube. So you want to have it in your name. You living in and then whatever city. Ashburn, Virginia, or whatever it is. So you want to have the location in your name. If you don't, you're not going to get your relocation people, because I will say the first thing anybody does when they want to move to a city is they're looking at Facebook groups, because they want to get information around schools, neighborhoods, whatever, job opportunities, what's the traffic like, weather. So you want to make sure that you have the name, and then the name should also be your location, your city, town should also be in your description, because that is a good way to make sure that it's really pulling up your group when people are searching, having 2 touch points.
Right. And I've seen people do these groups that are like, witty, or let's say like,
not too funny. Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for a witty name, but not for a Facebook group. And also using, especially because, Charlotte is, attracts a lot of reloads, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I've seen, and it's a simple mistake, but one thing I've seen people doing is, so Charlotte can a lot of times be known as the Queen City, but only really to people here. You know what I mean? Like if you're when I was moving here from New York, I wasn't thinking of moving to the Queen City. I was like, move Charlotte, And so I've seen people kind of use monikers and stuff that are local to here, or, moving to South End. Nobody knows what South End is unless you're already in Charlotte, So yeah, like as basic as possible, think of the way you would search.
Yeah, because like I live in Dulles South because we're near Dulles Airport, but even us locals don't like saying it because I don't want the airport in my
Dulles
South. And also, I mean, there is a Facebook group in my area, and I know they don't get as many relocations because the town is Leesburg, but they call it Leesology. But it's super cute. Like I love it, but
very cute. But no one's going to search like
that. But the relocation people aren't going to know Leesology or what that is. Yeah.
Right. Yes, exactly. Like you just have to put yourself in like the brain of the consumer. We're planning to move to Florida in 2 years. And I'm always like looking at Facebook groups down there, but they get weird because it says I'm a real estate agent. And I'm like,
have your husband join.
I know. This one lady, like without even, I'm like, I'm not even licensed in Florida. And I was laughing because this one lady, she had a pretty big group, and she wrote me this nasty message about you effing snake, and then blocked me. After she sent me that message, she blocked me because I couldn't see it. And I was like, girl, I was literally looking there to move, but thank you for showing me.
That's hardcore.
I know.
I just decline and ban. So you
can't I was like, man, who hurt you? Oh my gosh. Okay. So you have to follow Laura. She obviously knows her stuff with this. And if you're thinking of growing a Facebook group, which, like you said, is for some people, not for everyone, but if you like that type of community growth and you like to get your leads like that, Facebook groups are excellent.
And they're free.
Exactly.
Free. Yeah.
And if you build it around something you already have an interest in, or you're already going to be doing anyway, it becomes, it's work for sure, but I would do that all day and not do cold call, run ads, whatever. So,
and 30 minutes nurturing your group and getting leads versus I was talking to one agent and she was spending 3 to 5 hours on the phone making dials. I'm like, oh no, I couldn't do that.
No, getting hung up on. No, thank you. No, this Facebook groups I love. Okay. So first of all, if you go to groups2leads.com/top5, and we are actually going to put this in the comments over here if you're watching on Facebook. If you go to groups2leads.com/top5, what will they get there?
So you get a freebie. So it's my top 5 posts that I post in my group as part of my content plan to get leads from my group. So these are the top 5 posts that I post to get leads out of my group, and people will respond. And it's been that's one of my money makers in my group is posting this. And I don't do it every month. I do it every 6 months, and it helps.
That's perfect. Okay. Go ahead and grab that. And then from there, I'm sure they can find out more about working with you one-on-one or your course. And then follow Laura on Instagram at Laura Griffin Realtor, and YouTube at the same thing, right? Laura Griffin Realtor.
Yes. Or Laura Griffin Coaching if you want more about the course.
Or Laura Griffin Coaching. We will put all the links in the comments and in the show notes. So, but before you go, number 1, what will Laura be doing in 10 years?
Oh my gosh. Actually, the first child should be in college and done, right? Please. And the other child graduating high school. Please.
Oh
you know what I want to do is I love where we live, but it is so cold. My biggest goal is as soon as those kids go to college, and I'm moving somewhere warm. I don't care where. I want out of here.
Absolutely. I will meet you there because first of all, I moved here from New York when I was 27 or something. And it's so funny now, it's like 50 something degrees. And I'm like, this Arctic tundra, I can't take it. And I'm like, I can never survive. I mean, we don't really get snow much here, but the dark, gloomy thing, and it's just cold. And so that is our plan. My oldest is going to college this year. I have a daughter 2 years behind that. Now, then I had my surprise one that's 6, but he's just along for the ride. So we're like, yeah. I'm like, when the middle one is done, I'm out. I'm ready for sunshine. Yeah. She's like, well, I'm gonna go to state school in North Carolina. I was like, well, I'll see you there. Cause I'm like, if I wait for everyone, then you guys are gonna get married here, and then I'm never gonna leave. So I was like, yeah. I was like, no, you're gonna have to follow me. But anyway, okay. And then let's do some rapid fire. Coffee or tea?
A latte. I'm a latte girl.
So good. Do you like cinnamon dolce lattes?
I am not a cinnamon lover.
Oh,
not on my. I do occasionally, like if it's in like apple pie where it's kind of hidden, but not.
Yeah, it's like
hazelnut. Hazelnut's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Oh, hazelnut's good, except for the Nutella that they threw out for you. Netflix or podcasts?
Netflix. I watch a lot of Netflix at night. I like to binge watch things, especially Housewives of anything.
Oh, Housewives. I love that. Like Housewives of whatever. Yeah. Okay, and then let's do Facebook or Instagram.
I like Instagram a little more now because I like watching reels. I get sucked in.
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm like, wow, that was 30 minutes of just watching these. Like, what happened here? Where's my life?
I know. You come out of like this whole, like with, it's funny with TikTok. I focus more on Instagram, like work wise, but on TikTok, I go and like consume things randomly. Mm-hmm. And then that's how it is. I like it because I'm like a ghost there because I don't post.
Yeah.
And I just watch stuff and I'm like, I come up for air after 30 minutes. I'm like, what universe am I in? What just happened?
Or I buy stuff. I'll be like, oh, Amazon, I need this. I need this.
No. The Amazon influencers, they get me into trouble. I'm like,
come in here for my link, and I'm stupid. I do it every time.
I know. There's this one, you should not follow this girl. You may have already, but it's called the Broadmoor House. No. Oh gosh, I shouldn't have told you about her, but she puts together all this stuff, and then it's like, shop it all right here, and you're just like, add to cart. Then her stories, like every day, are different deals. And oh my gosh, I'm like, I need to unfollow you because this is not good.
My husband already is like, there's actually 3 boxes, I think, coming today. And he's going to be like, or maybe they're coming in 1. I don't know. But he'll be like, what is all this? I was like, I don't even remember what I ordered.
I know. What about I know. It's so bad. Instagram told me I needed it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Good luck with your Facebook group. And I hope it continues to grow fast. And then go ahead. Follow her. Go get that freebie. That actually sounds bomb. groupstoleads.com/top5. Laura Griffin Realtor. Follow her. And Laura Griffin Coaching. Find her on Instagram and YouTube. And I will see you soon.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Real Estate Coffee Talk. If you enjoyed it, please take a moment to subscribe and leave us a review. If you'd like to be featured on the show, you can get that information right in the show notes.